So example 1f, I'm going to write this in the Newton quotient. So f prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0, and that's all over h. Okay, so I'm going to take the f of x plus h, so I'm going to write this as 4 minus 2 times x plus h over 3 times x plus h plus 1. Okay, and then minus my f of x is going to be 4 minus 2x over 3x plus 1. Okay, so there's my Newton quotient. I need to, again, since I'm subtracting fractions, I need to get a common denominator. So f prime of x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0. And I'm going to, again, I don't want a 3-layer fraction, so I'm just going to put that h like this here, and then focus on this part of the fraction. So my common denominator is going to involve 3x plus 3h plus 1. That's one factor. The other factor is going to be the other denominator, 3x plus 1. Okay, and then I need to multiply the top and bottom of each fraction to get the numerator part of this. So I'm going to end up with 4 minus, and I'm going to write this as 2x minus 2h. And then I'm going to multiply that with the denominator 3x plus 1 minus, and I'm going to keep that the same, 4 minus 2x minus 2h times 4 minus 2x. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, so I need to multiply the denominator, which was 3x plus 3h plus 1. There we go. Times the 4 minus 2x on the other fraction. So there I have my fraction. I need to expand out the numerator then. So I end up with the limit. This is equal to the limit as h approaches 0. I'm going to put that h as a factor in the denominator. My common denominator was 3x plus 3h plus 1 times 3x plus 1. Okay, so there's my common denominator. And the numerator is just an expansion. I just have to be careful when I expand this. So I'm going to expand this. I'm going to end up with 4 times 3x is 12x plus 4 minus 6x squared minus 2x, and then minus 2h times, so again, minus 6xh. Negative 2 times plus 1 is minus 2h. Minus. Okay, so this next part, I really need to keep in brackets because it's going to be hard to keep track of my positive negatives. So I end up with 12x. 3x times 2x is minus 6x squared. 3h times 4 is plus 12h minus 6xh. And then 1 times 4 is plus 4 minus 2x. Okay, let's move that over a bit. So I'm going to put that all in brackets like that. Okay, and then I just have to make sure that of that minus sign, this negative sign here, I have to be careful of when I expand that bracket out. Okay, so when I expand that bracket out, I'm going to end up with a limit as h approaches 0. the bunch of stuff's going to cancel out here. So I'm going to end up with 12x minus 12x minus 6x squared minus negative 6x squared. I've got a plus 4 and a minus 4 here and here. I think I've got two x's here and here, which cancel out, and a minus 6xh and a minus 6xh. Okay, so it looks like I have all those terms. Just double checking here. Okay, so then I can combine my like terms here that's left over. So I end up with, change the color. In the numerator, I'm only left with a minus 2h minus a 12h, so I end up with minus 14h. Okay, so then there's my minus 14 in my answer, and then there's my h, those h's are going to cancel. I end up with 3x plus 3h plus 1, and then 3x plus 1. The h's cancel, so these cancel out. So I'm left with the limit as h approaches 0. The numerator is negative 14. I end up with 3x plus 3h. That 3h term, when I plug in the h is 0, is going to go to 0. So this term goes to 0 when I plug it in. And so I end up with negative 14 over 3x plus 1 times 3x plus 1, which is 3x plus 1 squared.